Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I want to welcome you to a special surprise live show. I am doing this live to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospitals. And one thing I want to say is that this screen right here, this little picture of me, is probably going to freeze because it's been freezing on me the entire time I've been trying to set this up. Hey, Calboon, nice to see you. I've got nobody else in here tonight. I am flying solo, and hopefully we are going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to be carving some rubber stamps. This is a stamp that I carved several years ago, probably about 10, 12 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I know that this carving block that I have right here that I'm going to cut pieces off from is 15 years old because I still have the mailing package that it came in, and it was October of 2003. Hey, Andrea, nice seeing you. Oh, excellent. Welcome to the live show. I'm going to be shifting things around just a little bit. I want to make sure that I have sound coming through. So I have to turn the sound on my little computer here and check it. Yay. All right, I have sound. Wow. And the live closed captions are actually working too. And yes, indeed, the little video has locked up, which is what I said it would do. So I'm just going to take that off and out of the way because everything else seems to be working just fine. All right, so the carving block. You can get soft carving block. I think they sell the pink kind at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or AC Moore, any of the big craft type stores. You can buy it online. I actually got this from a company called Enesco, Enasco. It's a big, they sell science supplies, they sell art supplies, they have different subsidiary companies. And so you can buy this. They sell a lot of stuff to schools. Hey, Law for Dreams. Nice to see you. And Madonna is in the house. Woohoo! Yay, we've got some people. This is making me happy. Hi, Trudy, all the way from Australia. It's Saturday morning already for you. I am so excited. Yes, you can get the small ones at Blick. It is the same product, basically. It's just a soft block carving material. And you just cut it with an X-Acto knife and a ruler to cut your pieces. Now we're going to be flying a little bit on the I know what I wanted to do. I want to measure this so that I make my block. I want it to be just a bit bigger than an ATC card because I'm going to be stamping ATC cards. Hello, Susan Alberts. Nice to meet you. So exciting to have people here. Hey, I've never been to Melbourne, Trudy. I have been to Sydney. And I've been up in Cairns on the Great Barrier Reef. That was amazing. I've also been down to New Zealand and had a lot of fun there. You see how easy this was to cut? You score it with a knife, and then you just tear it. Use a sharp blade and a nice ruler with a good metal edge, just so that you get a really good straight line. Hello, Lubna. Nice to meet you. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Nikki, can I, let's see, are you my regular Nikki? I need to see who you are here. Go to the channel. Are you Nikki Coleman? I believe you are Nikki. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm kind of going quiet for a second. I'm just checking. Nikki, are you Coleman? Or the Nikki C. Hey, we've got 20 people watching now. I am so surprised with people showing up on a impromptu live like this. I am... Yes, Sherpa Nikki. Hey, Sherpa Nikki, can I make you a moderator for this? So that you could copy the link out of my more information box and maybe drop the link for me for a little while for the donations for St. Jude's. I'm watching to see if you say yes or no. Yeah. You've always wanted to know how to do this, Susan? It is so much fun. And I'll go over all the materials. This is a soft safety cut, and it's safety, as in safety, and cut, K-U-T. Trudy, you love the art Sherpa? I sure do too also. Thank you, Nikki. Let me make you that right now. I need... Let's see here. Come on. Why isn't it giving me... Oh, it's because I haven't scrolled down to say, make a moderator. All right, Nikki, you're now a moderator. And if you could grab that... Hey, Gwen, nice to see you. And Marcy, woohoo! I'm loving this. The material is safety cut. And it's safety, as in to be safe, safety. And it's K-U-T. And it is a material, you can buy this on Amazon. It's a bit more expensive. You can buy it at Blick in 4x6 blocks. I believe they also sell the larger size block. And I am cutting this as a just slightly larger than an ATC card right here. So that way I can just put it down and get a whole ATC card, like a doing something like backgrounds or textures. So I could maybe distress a card and then do something that I can doodle over the top of. So that's what I'm going to do to start off with. Now, I have the Speedball pen handles because the cutting blades fit. Let's see here. The cutting blades here, they're just like the pen nibs, and they fit down into those handles. So I have a number 1 V cutter, a number 2 V cutter, and a number 3. So these are varying sizes. Oh, all right, Nikki, thank you so much. And the ATC cards, yes, are 3.5 by 2.5. And I am a design team member for the Art Sherpa ATC Design Club, or ATC Club, and I'm a design team member for the ATC Club for the Art Sherpa. And all that information is down below. It's below the area where the St. Jude's. So I've got a whole bunch of information for St. Jude's first. And then below that is the information for the... I'm getting the information for the Art Sherpa's ATC Club. And so for right at the moment, I am going to go ahead and grab this link, copy, and go ahead and drop that link in there. So I am doing this as a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospitals. Just as the Art Sherpa, we're on the same team, hashtag Derpsquad, and really excited to be raising funds. My goal has raised to $1,000. I am so excited. We've made it already to $585, and I think that this is going to be so exciting to have let's see here. I want to shift that just a little bit. There we go. Get that fixed. I'm really excited because the Play Live had a $1 million goal, and they were hoping to make that $1 million goal by the end of the month. They already hit that goal as of like the 14th of May. So now they've pushed their goal to 1.5 million. So they're going for another $500,000. And that's the money that you guys are donating and that everybody is donating. I've been going around to all my friends that are playing, that are doing this also, and I've been donating on all of theirs too. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to, hello Kathy, it's a great way to support an organization that never charges a family for anything. Haircuts, clothing, camp for the siblings, anything. They don't charge anybody. So it's just, it makes my heart just burst with joy every time I see even a $1 donation go into the pot. So if you have the ability to do it, go ahead and click that donation button. If you don't have the ability to do it, share it. Share about it. Share St. Jude's. Go on to their site. Make sure and click and support them by getting the word out and making awareness of this. So what I want to do first here is I want to make a background. And so I'm going to be using a cutter, and these are really neat. So I want to, how about this? Let me grab and zoom in. Whoops, wrong way. Here we go. Let's get it zoomed in and focused. Nothing like, I'm going to put my hand here, so make sure that it gets focused. All right. There we go. And exposure, and I want to brighten it up just a bit. Whoa, that's too bright. There we go. So I wanted to show you the cutters. Oh, you've toured St. Jude's. Oh, Gwen. That's amazing. Admission in your academy. Please tell me process. Admission in my academy? I don't have an academy. The Art Sherpa swap. To join the swap, have fun. Yes, thank you, Nikki. Woohoo! Nikki is in the house, and she, I know, knows how to drop a link. So I have in my hand right here the number 2 V cutter, and if you look, you can see that V. That is a sharp blade all the way around, down and back up. Same with the number 1. Let's see if I can show you the size difference. Look at the size differences. And then the number 3. If you want to remove a ton of material, you take this, number 3. I like to use the number 2 for a lot of stuff and then go in for the number 1 to do tiny details. So, Gwen, so when you toured St. Jude's, they research the kids and even decorate the living spaces for each individual long-term. Oh, yes. Isn't that amazing that they go to such detail to make it so that every child feels loved, cared for, nurtured, and they make it a priority to have the family there too, to have parents or siblings or everybody. They don't want to isolate and keep kids from that whole building of their immune system. Actually, they've shown that the immune system builds more quickly if a person is feeling loved and cared for, if they're being nurtured by their family. They grow. It's so much, they think of so many details. So I'm taking the number 2, and I just wanted to show you, it's like cutting butter. I mean, let's see, we can zoom in. Whoops, wrong way again. back to the focus, because when I zoom in, it loses that focus. There we go. So, hey, Nancy. Nice to see you. So, Nancy, you are also listed as a moderator. So if you are interested in going to the more information box and grabbing the link for the donations, that would be awesome sauce. I would love it. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the soft cut. So here you can see I did a test. This is the number 1 cutter blade. Very shallow. The number 2 cutter blade. And the number 3. As a child leaves, the whole place celebrates. And one of the elephants in front of the fountain gets their name for a... Oh, very cool. That is very cool. I just saw a little advertisement from St Jude's about a child who she was in St Jude's. She was cured. She's gone into full remission. She's been released. And one of the things she did was get together with a few other kids who have gotten out, who have been healed. And they did a big warrior, one of those big warrior dash obstacle course race type of things. I thought that was so amazing. Hey, Gail. Nice to see you. Excellent, Calboon. You know, it doesn't matter who you donate to. We're all on the same team. So if you want to donate to the Sherpa, or you already have, don't feel obligated to donate to me. Honest. This is all of the money that any of us raise is all going into the same pot. It's all going to St. Jude's, and that's all I care about. It'd be nice to make it to the $1,000 goal, but for me personally, but that's not the getting to $1,000 goal is just because I'd like to see that money all go to St. Jude's. So that was the number 2 cutter blade. This is the number 1, and you cannot go as deep. But look how easy that is. There's no force here. This is just... And what I'm doing here, you can tell when you go too deep, one side won't cut because you kind of you sort of slip off the edge. But this is just a piece of scrap. So does anybody have an idea, a suggestion? Thank you, Nikki. A suggestion of what you would like to see me try to carve. I was thinking of doing a border of some kind. So what I want to do, I'm just taking an ATC card, which is 2.5 by 3.5. I'm going to zoom out just a smidge so you guys can see everything. And I'm just using a Sharpie pen and just tracing around it. So that I have my border of the area that I want to carve inside of. And then, now one of the neat things is that you can do, you know, like Zentangle. You can do those types of things. An owl. I love owls. You tried carving yesterday for the first time. Ah, so are you saying that pushing too hard or twisting the cutter, those things are a lot, they're just things that you learn, and grabbing a piece that you use as a scrap, that you're just testing. You know, like I tested writing numbers for the size blades, just running it through. This is just a scrap piece. A crown is nice. You know, how about this? Why don't we do a crown on a smaller piece like this. And I'm just using the Sharpie to just draw it. And I'm just drawing this out of my head. It's not, let's see. I'm trying to think if I want to, I don't know if I'm going to put those back ones on. I might. But then I want to put some gems, some places for gems. So how's that? That gives us something small to play with and start off with. Excellent. Crown, yes. Yeah, so number 1 is really, really small. And it's great for those fine details, those finishing details at the very end, or for getting into some of these smaller spaces. So I'm going to start off with doing the outline with my number 2. And I am not cutting away the black so much yet. And if you see, I did not cut all that out. If you go back and forth, going on one side of it, then coming back. Okay, we're going to zoom in again. Oh, I got it right the first time that time. Okay, so I am going to cut it out there. And now I can go all the way along this line right here, and that's going to cut this piece out. And then I'll just come back and cut along and get those 2 pieces out. Okay, I see that Mark is there. Yay! Hi, sweetie. All right. So I am just quickly carving a crown, and we'll see. We'll see how this goes. You know, it might be a fail because I didn't test this design. I just went for it. One of the nice things about not having the face cam on is that I can look over at the computer and it doesn't look like I'm looking out of frame. There, and I'm going to thicken up that line there. All right, so you see we're doing pretty good here. I'm going to take that number 1 and I am going to set this on top of a piece of paper. And I am actually going to make it a little bit smaller now. See, I just cut just part way through. I did not worry about cutting all the way to the bottom. Then you fold it and you just tear, and it gives you a perfect edge. This is thick enough you can carve on both sides of it also. Hey, Carolyn. Nice to see you. So now I can use that paper to slide this whole block in a lovely circle. And I am going to, I think I'm going to leave I might leave that one. I'm not sure. Let's see. But see how that block is on the paper? This is so easy to carve. You see, I'm not pushing hard. It's actually, this is one of those ones that's really good if you have a bit of arthritis in your hands, or if you're doing carving with younger kids, because there's none of that hard gouging and pushing. So let's see here. We're going to do one more circle. And I'm going to move it over just a little bit because it was a little close to the edge. You see how I'm just turning it. There. So now I think I want to put some little lines like those little shine lines or shadow lines on the edge. on there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And we can test it. But I think I want to go ahead and get this inside bit carved out a little bit more. So I am actually going to kind of push a little bit deeper with that. Hi, Eileen. Nice to have you here today. And Tara, nice to see you. Excellent. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Now, we are doing carving with soft block material here. This is called Safety Cut. And I got it from NASCO Arts and Crafts, but that was like, my goodness, that was 15 years ago. So I went online yesterday and found out that NASCO still sells it. Dick Blick sells it. And you can even buy it on Amazon. There are different brands. You can use the white vinyl erasers, make excellent carving block if that's all you can find. You would just make carve smaller stamps. See, I could take this eraser right here, this vanish eraser. I could cut this into pieces and I could carve stamps all the way around it. Or do like one side and the other side, or carve an end so I could stamp. But something that is really cool is that this is a very flat edge already. So where did my stamp pad go? There it is. I just have a permanent ink pad. Look at that. You can just stamp right into that. And I'm just going to see, so that one there, so this one here. See, I could do a whole checkerboard with just this piece of rubber stamp, of rubber eraser. See, look at that. And that's, you know, you could draw guidelines and you could do it really neatly. There we go. You just bought some of the stuff you were going to try to make a stamp. Your daughter did it in her art class and it came out really cool. Yes, absolutely. 3-inch erasers at the dollar stores. The red erasers are a little bit tricky to carve, but if it's the white erasers, the vinyl erasers, awesome sauce. And you know, okay, so I am that person who gets an idea and then goes, oh, well, let's see. So I'm just going to carve a sweet little heart. Little sweetheart. Just like that. And then whoops, sorry. Why don't I? See? Just like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be a hard thing. This is easy. This is fun. And anybody can do this. Sorry, I am off screen. And now maybe I want to take out that stuff in the middle. And I want an open heart. So of course, see what I did? Like I said, I am that person. I see a squirrel. I go running off after the squirrel. So now, I'm just going to stamp that. And now we have an open heart. It looks like a balloon. So I could carve around it. just like this. Oops. I picked up the number 1. I probably shouldn't have picked up the number 1. But you see how it went a little bit wonky? Not a big deal, because I'm carving away that bit on the outside. But this time, I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife to carve away. Once I have that outline, create as I go. Stephanie, okay, so what is the minimum thickness this rubber, whatever it is? I believe that this is 3/8 of an inch thick, and you can carve on both sides. So I'll get back to the crown in just a second, because I just followed the squirrel up a tree, and I have to, now I have to finish this. And I'm sorry. Yep, Nancy, I am a squirrel. Yes, it's a nice clean line. You know, that's what this carving block, the carving block and the white eraser does. It gives you a really nice line. Now, I'm going to leave that one little line there at the base of that, right here, that line. And I want to show you, well, biddle, siddle, friddle, biddle, siddle, friddle. Going off screen again. You see how by inking it up, I can see what bits need to be, I need to zoom out a little more. I'd see what bits need to be cleaned up still. And that's one of those really fun things about this too. You want block like this? Okay, the little blades, they are Speedball linoleum cutters. So it's actually made for cutting the linoleum. And yes, Speedball pen handles. They are not that expensive. You can get this complete set of them, which has like 7 cutters, or I'm not sure. It comes with several cutting blades here. So there's several blades in here. I think that I have put more different blades in this. So there's a number 5 that's a U gouge, and there's a number 2. Yeah, and there's a number 4 square gouge for clearing a lot of media out of the way. And then some number 1s. Yeah, these are not the actual set that was in that box to begin with. I just used it because I love this box. It's so cool. Can you use wood carvers? If you get the small ones that are really fine, you can. You can. I really like having a pen handle because I can actually use it like I'm drawing. So I can go back in with this bigger gouge again and just clean up that bit that the ink went onto. See how easy that is? And this is just that easy. So for your basic, most people start off doing something like this. They do a heart, they do, you know, some type of easy thing. Geometric shapes, squares, stars, circles, hearts. So now, whoops, I didn't press hard enough. You see there's still a little line, little shadow. Some people like those little shadows to be left. I don't mind them. And I have carved a lot of stamps. I'm going to zoom out again. And I have to zoom out that far. Because, okay, so this is one bucket, and there's another bucket. And these are all stamps that I've carved. I have not done a sampler of all of the different blades and what they do, except for the 3 sizes of V gouges. And those, where's my other chunk of the sample? Or, you know what? I moved it out of my way. And I'll find it in a minute. I want to put the lid back on my ink pad here. Just a second. And don't worry, I will get back to the crown in just a second. So these are some big stamps that I've done. This is a maze. Kitty cat maze. Hey, Ashlyn. Yeah, these are all things that I've made over the years. I've done different cards. This is a Da Vinci lady. This one has some glitter all over it too. These have been sitting out in a studio, not being used for a while. But this one right here, I was thinking about carving a little horn to make it into a unicorn, where I would just stamp the horse and then I would stamp the unicorn horn on. There's a pretty little girl. Hey, CR Creations. Cindy. I was going through vintage, through a kind of a vintage phase for a while. Oh, Mummy. This was after we came back from Australia. The Celtic horses. Aislinn. Okay, so Aislinn. I have a friend who Aislinn, and she's Ashlyn. So that's why I was saying that. Aislinn. Thank you. That's easier for me to know. Or nice for me to know. Thank you. So here, little Celtic cross and a little tombstone. Remember, if you put words, you have to write them backwards. Because when you stamp it, you want it to go forwards. So anytime you write words, you have to put them on backwards. Here's another one of those little faces. I just had fun. This was my Westie that I did. So anyway, they are addicting. You can get a little, oh here, I like this one to show. And I think I'm going to grab a different stamp pad. Let's see if I can get it without knocking things over. Getting my stamp pad. Where did the stamp pads go? I don't know where the stamp pads went. That's okay. Let's see. I think this is a brush. This is a brush. So we're going to see if this brush is actually going to we'll see. We'll see. This is an experiment, and then I'll get back to the crown because I want to do the crown. All right. We'll see if this does anything. And then look at that. So there, we have a face. So we can have that mysterious face coming out of you know, out of the leaves or out of the flowers or whatever. It's nice to do something small like this. All right. So, one of the things that I want to do is I want to get to go and do the tour. Hey, KM Crafts, Miss Catherine. Thank you for coming. So now I am going to zoom back in and we are going to finish carving the crown. I'm just going to set it back on top of that piece of paper. I see that there's a little bit of this inside here that I wanted to trim out. And I'm off screen. So there we go. Just pull that out. Yes, KM Crafts has been making old wine corks into rubber or into stamps lately on her channel. And I am going to call her out because she's my niece and I'd like to see her channel succeeding. I have a special place in my heart. She is as close to a daughter as I will have until my son gets married, because I'm not having any more children. I am to the point where I am on grandma duty now. Let's see. And I think for these in the background, I am actually going to put the cap back on the pen. There we go. You just got YouTube. What is Tiltify? Tiltify, you do not need an app to go to Tiltify. It is just a site where you can make donations. So you click the link, it takes you to the site. You can make a donation using PayPal or with a credit card, either one. And you just follow the instructions. And they are really good because they are taking all of the donations from everyone who's raising money for St. Jude's and putting it all together in one big pot to give to St. Jude's. It's a really neat thing. Play Live is actually an event that is going on all month long, and it was started by gamers, people who do video gaming live, generally on Twitch. So I'm just using this number 3 gouge now, and I'm kind of just going big around. The number 3 removes a lot more material and goes really deep, really fast. But I wanted sort of an outline because then now I have this groove here, so I know where to cut and it won't cut into my stamp. But again, I can cut part way and then tear it. You don't have to cut all the way through until you get to the really fine details. So like this right here, I can cut and tear. I can go down a couple cuts and tear. See how easy that is? Oh, congratulations, Ashlyn. Ace. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry. Congratulations, Ace. So what I need to do is think of the old Doctor Who's, because one of the companions was named Ace, and it was a girl. So I will just start thinking of you as one of the Doctor's companions. And that's the old Doctor. Actually, that was the Sylvester McCoy Doctor Who. Yeah, I've been watching Doctor Who for a long time. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to ink this and see. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I need to zoom out just a smidge. All right, so got stuff on my table. And now one of the things this does do is it makes a bit of a mess. Oh, there it is. Somebody was asking. I'll show. That's watercolor card. Now you can stamp on watercolor cards. You can stamp on flat, just plain cardstock. You can stamp on anything, really. All right. So let's see. How about this? I'm going to stamp that and see what we have. All right. So it's a little rough right now. So now I see that I've got some of these little pointy bits that are kind of going off in funny angles. I don't want funny angles. I like things to be tidy. So we'll just go in and tidy it up. And I'm using the smallest blade now, the number 1, to go in and tidy up some of these spaces. Let's see, turn it this way. And you can take a sharp X-Acto blade in if you're really careful, which I'm careful, but it's a little bit scary when you take in those blades. So let's see here. I'm just looking at this going, well, what do I want here? What I want, one, is I need to, I'm trying to think, do I want that outline gone? I want to narrow up the outline. Have you ever used a stamping platform for placing your stamps, wondering how well they stick? You know, Ian the Off-Kilter Crafter is amazing, and he has used the stamping platforms. He has, his whole channel has tons of rubber stamping, and he is linked down below in my more information box because he is one of the design team members along with me and several others, including my husband Mark of MWB Arts, for the Art Sherpa design team. And Ian, the Off-Kilter Crafter, is amazing with tons of information on rubber stamping and card crafting. So I would definitely check out his site for information on the different types of stamping platforms. You know what? I think I'm going to leave it for the bottom, but I'm going to take that. I'm just going to take that right off. I'm just going to take that right off. Right like that. Look at that. Just take that edge off. Didn't like it. Not going to keep it. But I like the one on the bottom, so I don't want to take that one off. The same with up here. I think I'm going to remove these lines at the top. Nightloft, thank you so much for coming. So guys, even if you can't make a donation, it would be awesome if you would share about St. Jude's with other people. who haven't already been tapped, because many of you I know have already been tapped for donations, and you've already been more than generous. So just share about St. Jude's with your friends. And if you know anyone that has a child that is, undergoing cancer, or just got a diagnosis of cancer, or some type of childhood disease that they are doing research on at St. Jude's, please have the parents go to the website, because they are always looking for patients to come join them as part of their family and become another survivor. When St. Jude's first started, childhood cancer had certain types. The brain cancer had a 4% survival rate. Now, St. Jude's has brought that up to over 80%. And some of the cancers that they treat are now pushing 90%. Isn't that amazing? And it's all through donations. They don't take any government money. So that way, they are not, they're not held to somebody else's requirements. Their requirements are the ones that matter. Their requirements are that they are there for the child, they are there for the families, and they are there to cure cancer. They also do the flu vaccine every year. Because if you think about it, their kids have such suppressed immune systems that they can't get the flu. It's just no. They cannot get the flu. If they were to get the flu, it could be deadly. They would be in that group of people that could die, because when they are undergoing chemotherapy, when they are undergoing radiation, it suppresses their immune systems. Okay, so there. How's that? I want to kind of bring that line in just a bit. And I want to refine this line right here. If you want to carve something and you are not able to draw, it is so cool. Get the you need to have either a laser printer or a toner type copy machine. Get your picture printed that you want to carve on a laser printer that uses toner or a toner copy machine. Then you can put it down on top of the rubber, just cut around it, and you can use an iron, and you can iron it on and peel it off, and it transfers the toner onto the surface of the rubber. It is so cool. You know what? I was actually thinking about the Surreal paper, and I have some, so I might just go and grab some of that in just a second, and we can test to see if it will transfer. Yes, and here I have one of my magnets. Okay, there's going to be a squeak because I'm going to step out for half a second and grab the magnet. All right, I'm back. Sorry for the squeaky door. There we go. This is my I Support St. Jude's. This magnet, I worked a little hard, so I'm not sending this one out because it's got a little scuffy. But there we go. This is the sticker, and the sticker was then put onto sheet magnet. So how's that? Oh, good. I'm glad that the idea about the toner transfer was helpful. I like it. It worked for me for a lot of things. Now I'm going to take my face here, and I'm going to stamp her face. And I think I stamped it high. Well, maybe not. And then I'm going to stamp my little... Then I'm going to stamp my little crown off to one side. Oh, look at that. Oh, that crown worked. There's a little tiny bit of cleaning up I'm going to do right here on this edge. Right there. But other than that, I think that crown worked. What do you think? So there you go. We have the crown. I guess I could, except the crowns aren't squared. But this could actually be used to stamp. I wonder, would I be able to? Ooh, okay, so now I'm looking at it going, I wonder if we can do, let's see, maybe on a diagonal, so that way I can go back and forth and use it like a ooh, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. I would not use it on a canvas to transfer an image for canvas because the toner would act as a resist, unless that was the effect you were going for. If I were to try it, I would try it on a canvas panel, not on a stretched canvas. Ooh, that's neat. So I'm just offsetting those little teeth of the crown. Okay, so this could be, if I got out, you know, other colors. This is fun. Back and forth. Yes, it would make a cool border. So flip it and stamp it. Maybe like the, it could be like the back of playing cards. A whole page. Well, Catherine, you can come borrow this stamp anytime you want. Let's see. Offset just a little bit. There we go. See, I get started doing something like this. And you guys get taken along on my journey. I hope you don't mind being kidnapped. It's for a good cause. And thank you for the $1 donation. That is awesome. $1. $1 gets infant diapers. Because they have patients that are from infants all the way to 19-year-olds. So, infant diapers, $1. $3 gets isolation masks to help keep those kids safe when their immune systems are being so when their immune systems are so low. There we go. All right, so we've got a whole ATC background. Just back that out just a little bit. Look at that. From that stamp that we just carved. That is really cool. I like that. I wonder, let's see, where'd my scissors go? It's called All My Ideas. There's some scissors. All my ideas require different things. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to carve right around her face. And we're actually going to just bring that right up to the crown. And this is where, if I had done this in another color, it would be really striking. So let's see. See, because, ooh, that's cool. Okay, so now I see that. I'm going, around that way, down the cheekbone, along the cheek, and down to the jaw. Under the chin, and across. How's that? Ephemera is amazing. Fun stuff. Printed papers, pieces of things that you've collected. Now, this wouldn't exactly be ephemera, but these are printed papers that I had done with a jelly plate. It's actually one sheet of paper that I had done a jelly print and then made it into a little book. But ephemera is anything that's left over that people don't expect people to keep. So pamphlets from a fairground or an event that comes through, postcards, any of those things. Thank you very much. And bits of lace and bits and pieces of, yes, all kinds of things. So this was another one that I had done a jelly plate of. And that's the, that's fun because this was actually net lace or netting that was put on to make that texture. It's pretty neat. Anybody interested in a jelly plate printing party live show, let me know. I would be more than happy to play with doing things like that. It makes great pieces of paper to use to do your collaging for the ATC cards. Okay, so somebody said owl. So I think that this one, we're going to get an owl. And I think I want to draw on it first with a pencil that's actually sharpened. Or, let's see. Ooh, maybe we'll do that. Okay, so I have this little kind of a piece of vellum paper. And I'm going to figure out my little owl. So, first thing I'm going to do to figure out my little owl, I'm going to put down a piece of paper that is cut to 3.5 by 2.5. And I'm going to move my scraps. Now, many times I will actually be smart and carve on top of another piece of paper. Because then it grabs, you collect all of your little scrappy bits, and you don't end up, let's see here, you don't end up with it all over the place. Let's see, just grab this piece. So what I'm going to do is just slip a piece of paper under and slide this stuff forward. There. Now I've got something that I can carve on top of and keep my scraps. But I want to slip that out of the way for the moment. All right. Wow, we've got 35 people watching. Welcome, everyone. If you just came in, we are doing this live show for as a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. I am working on my goal to get to $1,000, and I really appreciate every single donation that has ever come in to anybody who is collecting donations for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It is a totally amazing group of people, researchers, doctors, nurses, the custodians and the cooks, the chefs and the servers in the kitchen, the person mopping the floor to the person who is out there working to get those donations into the hospital. Every person matters in this organization. And, just by virtue of raising money for them, I feel like I'm in a little part of the organization too. So any little bit helps. $10 helps to provide new toys for hospital play area in the recreation spaces. They can't get donated toys that are used. They have to have new toys because they can't have anything that's got germs or possible things that would come in. They have to be very careful on what they allow into the hospital. So make sure that you remember them when you are thinking about making a donation to some type of cause. Now, they do have an opportunity for you to do monthly donations. And I've talked to a lot of people who actually already do monthly. And so they're not donating in these particular events because they always donate. They're constant supporters. And that is amazing. Just like the public broadcasting, where it's public supported, donation supported, St. Jude's is 100% donation supported. They, and I think it's like something like 80% of the donators are people who donate $5, $10, $30, $1. Because that $1 counts. That $1 can be, that diaper that baby needs. Oh, come on now. I told my computer no updates. My computer was trying to tell me it needed to do an update. It's like, no, not during the show. I have boxes of ephemera, yes, that are stacked up in a cupboard. From all of my, that might be something that we could do on a live stream if anybody was interested. We could do some collaging or something. Oh, Ace, now were you trying to do the pull string where you open up a book and put your paper folded in half, put your paper in a book, and then lay your string on it, close the book, push your hand down, and then pull the string out? If that's the one you're talking about, you just have to make sure you keep really hard pressure and you have enough paint on your string. Oh my goodness, Sandy, thank you so much for your donation. And Gail, thank you for your donation. I saw the dollar, but I didn't see the name. So thank you so much. I appreciate every single person who's making a donation. You guys are making my heart just sort of melt. And I kind of promised myself that I wasn't going to tell the macaroni and cheese story. So I will only tell it if people want me to. The macaroni and cheese story is really cool. Yeah, so Ace, you have to have very firm pressure across as much of your book as possible. So if you are using a book that's not really thick, put your paper to the back of the book so you have more weight on top, and then pull your string out. I don't think I've got any fine enough string. Oh, actually, I do. Okay, so we're going to go off and, you know, this is all for ATCs, right? We can do these on ATCs. This type of a string pull thing, you can do it on an ATC. So what I'm going to do is I have some really pretty pink and some green. And I have these cards. And what I'm going to do is just take this block and put it over the top, I think, to hold it down. So we're going to test. We're going to see if we can do this. Look, a squirrel. Yes, it's a squirrel. Okay, I won't tell the macaroni and cheese story. But I will tell the story about the particle accelerator that they have 6 floors down in the basement that they can directly target the tumor of a child, the brain tumor of a child. Yeah, they can target it, and they can get just the tumor with the particle accelerator. So we're going to go ahead and just wiggle. Okay. And now I am going to do it this way. And I'm going to get my green in here too at the same time. And we'll pull both strings out at the same time. So by having this particle accelerator that's dedicated to just children's cancers and just children's tumors, they have been able to heal children who would not have gotten the opportunity. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm just putting another card right on top of it. And I'm just taking something that I can push down on nice and firmly. And we're going to pull. The strings are out. We're going to take that off. And we'll see if we got anything. And we got blobs because I've got, ooh, that's cool. Oh, that looks like coral. I think my paint was a little bit too thick. I'm going to have to change the name of the video. I think the name of the video is going to be, Look, a Squirrel. And you guys who came to it will know what I was talking about. Wow. Okay, guys. What I used was paint that was mixed with it. Boy, can I use my words today? What I used was DecoArt pouring medium that was mixed into PBO Studio acrylics, which are iridescent paints. I have green and green blue and blue violet, which is really this pretty pink color. Yes, doesn't it look like something for mermaid? Isn't that pretty? Now, these could be used as the basis of cards that I could go in and paint more things onto. Or I could cut these out and apply them to something else. Layer them up. but it looks like coral. I am really tickled by that. And the fact that it, you know, it looks different than those string paintings that everybody's doing. Actually, this paint, because PBO Studio acrylics these are high viscosity, heavy body paints. I actually mixed these 7 parts of the deco art to 1 part, and it still is thick. See? Look at that. Now, if I had done it with just the ink, I think I could, let's see. I think I might have some more string. I do. There. Oh, no, that's the other side of that string. Okay, I just ran my hand through the ink, or through the painty string. There. I'm going to set the painty string out of the way so I don't keep running my hands through it. Okay, we are going to be carving another stamp because I want to get that owl. But I am that person that when you... Oh, good night, Carolyn. Thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Yes, the craft paint is 1-to-1. The Deco Art craft paints, 1-to-1 with the Deco Art pouring medium. And that is really, it works out so nice. All right. Okay, guys. I'm not going to list this in the information about this video. So if people see it, they are lucky, but they're not going to get to know about it except for I did a painting last night with these paints and primary blue and white and black and gold, and poured it through a dish strainer. Look at that. What do you think, guys? This is going to be the video that goes up on Memorial Day, I believe. So, and this was with the Deco Art pouring medium. Secret bonus! Secret bonus for those who show up. See? There we go. So, I had to share my secret bonus with you guys. Isn't that cool? It's fluorescent pink and white and primary blue and that green blue and black and metallic gold and the violet, blue violet, and cells that showed up, and that's all just with the pouring medium. There's nothing else added to it to make that. And it was poured through, let's see, where did I set that? It was poured through a little dish. It was poured through a little dish sink strainer. The kind with the little flower petal around the top edge. I'll show it to you in the video. Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day Monday. It's like a hidden Mickey. Exactly. So you guys got to have a hidden Mickey. Oh, you never know what's going to happen on one of my live streams. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am going to zoom back in. I am still doing a squirrel, traveling squirrel thing right now, because what I want to do is see if getting this in this string on the stamp pad. I'm just going to push like this. Now, I'm not trying to make a design on I'm just trying to get my string, see if my string will get enough ink on it to... Sorry, Squeak. My ink pad may not be wet enough. Now, you could do this with really juicy... I know what I'll... Oh, shoot. Well, I've already got this all over. You could do it with really juicy watercolor markers. So let's see if I got enough juice on there. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, yeah. There's going to be enough. Okay. So that. Lay this down here. Put this on top. Hold it firmly, but not too firmly. You just want to get it so that it pulls out. Okay. The ink was kind of dry. But that, ooh, that's kind of cool. Sort of like those ink blot type of things where you can look at it and go, I wonder what that is. I wonder what I could do with it. It looks like sort of like crystal glassware. I'm so glad. Okay, bye, Gail. Yeah, this is a lot closer. Okay, I still want to... I need to get my mouse off the floor and not step on it. I'm grabbing some pens. Just a second. We had another squirrel attack. I've got some of the Jane Davenport mermaid markers. And I am going to... I think just that little bit will work. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is get that all inkied up. This is a water-based marker on a brush tip. And I'm just getting it nice and wet with that marker. That's feeling pretty good. I think that this would work with embroidery floss, like a 6-strand embroidery floss. I think that would work really well. You just bought these markers today? I've had these markers for months, and this is like one of the first times I'm using it. All right, so I want to kind of get this to twirl. Come on. And then I need another piece. Slam it down. And I think I'll just grab another piece of the block since I just put ink all over the back of the frog. All right. So now, pulling that one, and we'll see. Oh, yeah. There. Now, I am doing it small, but that's much closer. So Madonna, that's what you used was the embroidery floss, and how did it work for you? I'm sorry, I had missed it if you had said. But look at that. I'm pretty tickled by that. So, squirrels. Let's continue on now with making an owl in a carved stamp, because I do want this to end up being mostly carved stamps. So we already got the crown carved, and that made an awesome background. Then we went off with a squirrel and we did this amazing coral with a string pull. That's pretty neat. Then we got it to do these. Yes, it does look kind of like a woman who's leaning around a champagne flute. Think of it maybe drawing her hair in and could have her arm come down. That's cool. And then this one. The third time was good. The other two's not so much. And I bet you that that's what usually happens, is that you have to figure out what the right consistency is for your paint or your ink that you're putting onto your string and how wet that you're making your string. Oh, there it is. That was the drainer that I used. The sink strainer. And I picked it up for like $3 at a place called Craft Warehouse here in my town. All right, time to clean house. I need to move things out of the way so I can see what I've got going on. Get that mermaid marker back into its case so I don't lose it. I appreciate you guys all being here and hanging out. I appreciate all of the donations that we've had come in tonight. It's been lovely. And I'm still here and still going to play for a little while if anybody is planning on staying. So I was going to just draw with a pencil after I sharpen it. Because again, a squirrel has just run across my path. No, I just have to sharpen my pencil. There we go. Okay, this is a sharp tank, and it's really cool because you squeeze these two little levers together, put the pencil in, and then it applies pressure as you turn the handle until it's sharp. And then it stops. And then it's perfectly sharp. You're staying as long as I'm on. That's excellent. Thank you. Hey, if any of you guys are... I just unplugged my little computer. Just a second. Not the computer that I'm doing my show on. The computer that I'm watching your chat on. There we go. Oh, we find patterns in everything. We are built to find patterns. That's how we were made to survive. I love patterns. All right, so I'm just going to actually slide that stuff out of the way. So I just have a piece of this kind of vellum type paper, and I think, well, it would be good if I sharpened my pencil so that I think that I've dropped this pencil a few times. I just broke the lead. We'll see. Okay, you're gonna survive this time. I want to test just drawing a little bit and then rubbing it. Ooh. So I can draw on here and rub it, and it's going to transfer my picture. So that's another way that you could get an image onto the stamping mat, onto the stamping surface to carve using some type of like a vellum paper. That has a little bit of body, but it's really, really smooth, and your pencil is going to just transfer right off. Hey, MWB Arts. You're back again. Yes, we've been having happy little squirrels. Yes, Mark knows all about my squirrelness. All right, so my little owl. I'm thinking, now if I put it on this side, it's going to be looking that way. So do I want my owl looking that way? I think so. So I think that my little owl is going to basically take an area about here, and it's going to be he's going to be a partial owl poking through about like that. Let's see. Let's get something that's a little more white. Less distracting. All right. So, little owl, he's going to be sitting over here. I'm leaving this space up here so I could put words. You know, I could say smile. I could say hope. I could say dream. You know, this little owl might be a sleepy owl, and it might be a owl that's thinking about things. Your squirrel chasing is legendary. Yes. Well, just ask Mark about Stephanie and her squirrel chasing. She, you know, I go off. I wander down paths when I'm doing art, just like I'm doing right now. Because the other thing that yesterday when I did my my Memorial Day painting, the runoff, I let it run off onto this one. This was on a 8x10 gesso board, and the other one was on a 12x12 artist board, both by ampersand. So look at that. What do you think? Yeah, I just chased a squirrel up a tree, and there we go. All right. We're back to the owl. Back to the cute little owl. And it is going to be a cute little owl. This is a quickie owl because we have to be able to carve it. You know, so you don't want to get too detailed. Because if you get too detailed, then the poor little thing never gets done. All right, so what I did, we've got the little owl. Decided to change him up just a little bit. Kind of looking upwards, I think. And you only see one of his eyes completely. The other eye is off the side. Yeah, the shimmer is really pretty in that. It's the gold metallic, the iridescent green-blue, and the iridescent blue-violet. That's what all the shimmer is in that one. So here we are, little owl. We're going to put just a couple little leaves on this side. Just because. Just because. And remember, this is actually being done ATC size. So I'll be able to just plop it right down. And then, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. And then, most of a card could be done. And the neat thing about these kinds of designs, if you keep it fairly simple, like I don't know that I'm even going to put the detail of the feathers in, because I think I want to leave room to be able to do doodles. maybe some of the Zen doodles or patterns like they do over at the Pattern Dash Collections. Yes, this owl is in a tree. You know what? We could give her, what is it, those little, what was it called? Nez Perce? The little glasses that were just, the glasses with no arms on them, and it had these the little pads that just set over your nose, and it would be like cheaters. You would put them onto your nose and you could use them, but then you weren't actually wearing glasses because, you know, people didn't like to wear glasses. I still am really not resolved to wearing glasses, even though I do. My glasses wearing is because of getting older and those lovely, lovely things, the changes that happen to our eyeballs. There, that's all I'm going to do. I am going to transfer this now. And the way I'm going to transfer it is I'm just going to lay it down. Since I have that frame already drawn on, and then I'm going to grab a craft stick and I'm going to use it to just rub and take a look. Yes, it is transferring perfectly. So cool. All right, and look at that. We now have the owl transferred onto, well, let's see. Oh, my goodness. Look how cute that owl would be if it were a whole owl. Except this owl only has 1 foot. How's that, guys? Oh, there. There you go. So now on my donation page, if you are interested, at the $10 donation, you get one of my vinyl stickers. And at the $20 donation, you get one of these magnets. And these are things that I'm putting together and mailing out. It's not something that St. Jude's is doing. This is just my thank you if you are interested. I have 75 of the stickers and 25 of the magnets. So there we go. If anyone is interested. And please go ahead and, click that link. I've got friends that are being so helpful. Pinsnez, that's it. Thank you, Ace. Yes. Oh, good. Well, at least I kind of had it sort of close. Kind of. I knew what I was talking about and described it correctly. I just didn't say the word right. So now I'm going to go ahead and just start carving this guy. I am going to use my number 2 to start off with and get the basic outlines. And I'm thinking that this one, I will clean out the inside of his wing. I think I'm going to clean out the up here. Well, no, I'm not going to clean out up here in his head because I want that to maybe to be darker. And I really want to find some of my other stamp pads. Oh, I know where they are. Right here, next to me. I just have to not pull things over. All right, and there we go. Haha. Now we've got a lightning black, a coffee bean, and a pearlescent sky blue to try out. That makes me happier. I've got more colors now. And that is why no one wants to play Trivial Pursuit with Ace. Well, you know what? People don't really like playing Trivial Pursuit with me either. Because even though I don't necessarily have all of the information, I have enough to be dangerous at Trivial Pursuit. So there we go. I'm going up to that point. And then I'm going to come across. And I can actually just do that shallow turn. And that little bit right there. So now, put it on a bit of an angle. You can see where I done that outline cut. More colors. Yes. Yes, more colors. So, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and zip along and get the outline of the tree, because this is actually going to get, I'm going to be cleaning out the inside here where it would be the sky area. So that way it's not a solid background. But I do them with solid backgrounds. You know, I do, as you have seen from the bounty of stamps in the boxes. There are ones that were done completely with the solid background and doing the outline so it looks like a reverse. And I'm going to go ahead and just lightly. So I'm using a number 2 cutter to get my basic outlines. I like this one. This is nice and sharp. I do like the number 1 also, but you do have to be careful. They go dull a lot faster for some reason. Probably because there's less metal, less blade. Then I'm just rotating. And if you can get a smooth motion, see? If you can get a smooth motion going and you slide the block and keep the cutter steady, it makes it so much easier. So, like, I'm going to go around his eye here, and I'm just going to turn the block and turn the block, and I'm just guiding the block into the cutter blade. Just following. Just like that. So now I'm thinking that I might, at some point, pull this bit out of the video. I mean, not pull it out, but take the video and make this part right here into a little speed video on how to carve a rubber stamp. What do you think? I'm thinking it's kind of a good idea. Yes, you can sharpen the blades if you have a small whetstone. The actual cutting edge, if you look at it, the cutting edge is on the outside, not on the inside. So you can draw this along a sharpening stone, and you draw it along the stone at the right angle. So that's the tricky part, is having it at the right angle. They're not that expensive. you know, if you buy them in bulk, they become much more economical. But I have not bought any for over 15 years. But I've also not been doing a lot of carving. And the eraser material does wear down the edge. It has a certain amount of abrasiveness to it, or the soft block has a certain texture that will sort of chew it down a little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in just a smidge and see if I can do it without going off the screen. Without all the squirrels, yes. Nikki, thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. And I'll be seeing you again soon. Maybe with some more squirrels. So, all right. So I am going to go ahead and... Now the inside part of his eye here, I'm going to leave solid because I want that to be black, except that I do want to have a couple highlights in it. So I just put a couple highlights in it. And what I will do is I will take my black pad and I can show you kind of what I've got here. I will just, because I can still see my, there, I can still see my owl, but that way you can see a little bit better what I'm carving. How's that? Does that help? So if anybody wants to go out and share that we're still alive, down below you can click on share, and you can share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share on, you know, anywhere. Anywhere that your little heart sounds, you know, that it sounds good to you. I think that this is going to help you guys see a little bit better what I'm doing. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad, because I was going, oh, this is a little hard for you guys to see. So I'm just getting the other side of his or her. Can be either one. That's looking really cute, though. And I think that these little scoopies in the chest area are just going to, they're not going to be as scoopy as I drew them. Just sort of a little indication that there's some fluffiness going on here. And a little indication of featheriness in these ears. I think I am going to go ahead and carve out the inside of, now let's see here. Yeah, I'll just use the 3. The inside of the wing. And you see how easy it, I mean, look at that. Boop. You know, and I could have left it with feathers inside here, but like I said, I want to have some places to do some doodling and to make this more more handmade after I've handmade. Thank you so much for the donation. That is wonderful. Oh yes, thank you so much, Ace. I have not said that one time tonight. If you are enjoying what you see, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the bell so that you'll be notified when new videos go up. And after the video is over, leave me a comment and let me know what you were thinking. Or go ahead and leave a comment in the live chat, because I can go back and read the live chat more closely after the video is over. Get my cup of coffee and sit and read the chat. You see how fast that went out? You shared and had a walk to walk back. Oh, thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to clean out his beak, and I think I'm going to leave just a little sliver in there, sort of off to one side, kind of like that. And then this area around his eye, I am going to just do like the little rays of a sun, like that. Since I'm cutting towards a line that I've already cut, it actually does pop out. So it's easy to get these little details in when you are going back and forth. You've got like the inner ring here and the outer ring, and then you're making little designs in between those rings, because then you've got a place to put your blade and a place for your blade to end up. And because you don't have to push hard, you end up with a nice clean cut. I think I can get one more right here in the middle. There. Aww. And you know what? I think I want to put another ring around the outside. And I'm going to use my number 2 to do that. I want another ring. I want another. This is kind of like doing Zentangling, where you start with one line and you just keep, it just keeps growing and changing. Now I'm going a little bit wobbly. That's okay. I think I'm going to go right over the top of his beak and back down, and then up and over. Yeah, definitely. And I think, I think I'm going to do that. I think I do want to clean out his little chest area here, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. And I am going to leave the little ridges in the middle. We'll see. I mean, I could end up just cleaning the whole thing out. Yep, it's Phyllis. Hi, Phyllis. Yes, this carves really fast. I mean, this is not like linoleum carving. Linoleum carving, oh my gosh, that's a challenge. And you have to have a bench hook for it, and you have to, you're not just doing it with a slow motion like this, just letting the blade cut through. Linoleum carving, you're working. Now, I do want to get his little foot in here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do, I think, just 2 little bumpity bumps for his toes. And then his right up to his foot there, because that is where the tree had to have some place to go here. There we go. All right, look at that. Oh, he's looking so cute. So, do we want to put some ink on here to just to see how it's starting to come together? I think I do. I think I want to see it. And I know right now there's a lot of texture running through his chest and tummy area. Thank you, Cindy. So when you go to the art store, you can certainly buy erasers. This was a Alvin Softy white velvet eraser that I had carved a picture of my son from, I mean, he was like in 3rd grade, I think. So let's, and this was just on a piece of an eraser. This right here is an eraser that I pulled out of its little box to you. Oh, there it is. So this was actually a free eraser that came from Jerry's as a gift. It's a 4-in-1 vanish eraser. So, see? And I just pulled it out of the box and I carved a heart. But then I could slab this off and I could carve something else. And I could slab it off. Or I could carve something down the side and make borders. You know, so you can do any of that. The material that I'm actually carving on is safety cut. And I got it through NASCO about 15 years ago. They do sell it still on Amazon and Blick. And so I'm going to go ahead and stamp that little carving that I did of my son when he was in 3rd grade. How's that? Actually kind of looks like him as a grown-up, too. You know, it's... And that was just a half of an eraser, not even the whole eraser. I cut the eraser in half this way because it came out to here. So, there you go. And I'm going to close that back up again. And, oh no, I wasn't going to close that again. I was actually going to stamp on, oh, not that. Not that this time. Wow, I've mostly, oh, there's some smooth paper. So I'm going to stamp this with coffee bean this time. So doing it like this, I can definitely see what I need to cut out still in his tummy. But I'm going to go ahead and put this card on. And right now I'm not worried about what the background looks like, or the back of the card looks like, because this is just sample stuff. Oh boy, he's looking cute. Yep, safety cut. Oh, I don't look old enough to have grown-up kids. My son is 31 years old. So, I'm old enough. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. I have always been told that I looked fairly young for my age. When I was working on my wedding and getting ready to get married, the mother of a random person looked at me and said, "How could your parents be letting you get married?" I was 20 years old, and she thought I was like 14. So, that's okay, you know? I mean, look at that. Isn't it cute? I'm really happy. But I'm going to continue. I think I want to take it up underneath of the eye a little bit. And I want to leave a little edge for the beak. Kind of an outline on the beak. And then I want to come down. And I do want to get this mostly cleaned out. I mean, it can have a few lines. But I really don't want very many because I want space, like I said, to do some doodling. And I hope that folks who, if you know of anybody who was saying, oh, I really want to learn how to carve stamps, I know I'm going to have to go and let a couple people know that I did it and didn't advertise it very well because I was, just working on the ideas, and I actually was thinking about going much earlier. And then I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? What would be interesting? What do people want to see? Do they even want to see me? Sometimes you have those thoughts of, Catherine. Okay, so let's see. I was 22, and I'm a lot older than that now. I've been married since, okay, guys, I've been married since 1984. My son, okay, Andrew is so 31. He'll be 32 in December. Silly. Okay, those kinds of questions or comments make me stop and go, hold it a second. How old was I? See, I haven't had a hard time with getting older and stuff, but my grandfather he lived to be he was a month shy of 101, and his wife, my grandmother, was 97 when she passed, and she was much younger than him. Well, much younger. She was like 7 years younger, 6 or 7 years younger, I think. Maybe more than that. Maybe she was 8 years younger. But, and they were married for a long, long time. I think she was 18 when they got married, and she was 90 when he passed. So, there. That's how you figure out. He was 11 years older than her. Yep, miss them. See, Ace, I graduated from high school in 82. And they got married 2 years later to my high school sweetheart. Who went to a different high school. So let's see. Little line right there. Because we've got that bit of his tummy. Except that I'm going to be trimming this off. I'm going to trim it off so it's exactly the size of the ATC card. So I don't know what I was just thinking. All right. Yep. Yep. Great. Your grandma was riding a goat. A story for another time. Oh, this is, wow, this really is coming together, though. Let's see. Okay, so I am going to have to get this background trimmed out now. So I'm going to go wide around his little shoulder, but then I'm going to come in here. because I want a bit of his back to stay on, to be colored. There we go. Oh, yes. Sorry, guys. So this is one of those things where you can get into a zone and just start going with the flow and just say, oh, this is fun. This is calming. This doesn't, it doesn't require a lot of thinking at this point because I'm just clearing out a bunch of material. And I may, end up with, there's going to be some texture in the background. That's okay. By keeping the tree along this edge and along the bottom, I probably should have left a bit more. I could leave a little edge for the cards to line up on. I don't know. Don't know. Mindless crafting. You were riding your motorcycle when you met your husband? I broke my... I was at a church retreat with my church for high school group, and my a really good friend invited Mark to come, and found out that she was doing something you probably shouldn't do, which was she was trying to make another boy jealous by inviting Mark. But then it was kind of mean because she didn't really spend much time with Mark. And so I started talking to him, and we were, just chatting about things. He thought I was the younger sister of one of the high schoolers until I started talking about, starting college that fall and, the next fall. And then we were playing football, and I broke his big toe. And then somebody slipped my sweater into his bag, and then he had to get a hold of me. We still don't know who did that. He says it wasn't him. Our friend said it wasn't her, and it wasn't me. So I don't know how it happened. Oh, historical reenacting. Oh, that's a lot of fun. So you're a medieval reenactor then? Or Renaissance? Are you SCA? Or some other group? Oh, yeah. Yep, I broke his toe. It was funny. I mean, in the long run of things. He is the only boy I ever dated. So, got it right on the first try. Oh, golly. What's the name of the SCA kingdom that's out? Antir, I think, is the name of or it was the name of the kingdom or group, the SCA group that was out here in the Portland area years and years ago. I was not an actual... I didn't actually participate very much in the SCA, but I had friends that did. And so I went out to a few events and took my son when he was a wee small child, like 4. And we got invited to, to stay for after the the dinner that they would have after all of the public went away. Even though I was public, it was kind of fun because we got invited to stay. It was a potluck, and I was like, "Oh no, but I didn't bring any food. Oh, hold it, I've got a pack of chocolate chip cookies." And then the person said, you bring the coin of the realm. Chocolate chip cookies, the coin of the realm. If the stork brings sons, does the heron bring husbands? I'm not sure what that means, Catherine. Hi, Andrea. Welcome back. Yep, we're still here, and you can see the lovely carved owl that we're getting done. I say we in the broad sense of the term, that I have people who are keeping me company. And we're having all kinds of conversations about all kinds of fun and silly things. And I hope that people are enjoying this. And if you are, and you haven't clicked that subscribe button on my channel, please do. Found out just recently, looking at my analytics, that 80% or 85% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribers. So if that's the case, I could be like, up in the hundreds of thousands of subscribers if everybody who watched the video subscribed. But that's okay. I don't mind being where I'm at. And one of the neat things about where I'm at is that I'm almost to 50,000 subscribers. And I'm thinking about doing a bit of a giveaway thing, a little celebration. See, you guys are getting all kinds of early information about things. I'm not quite sure how the giveaway is going to work yet, because I've not done one since I did one when I hit, I think it was 500 subscribers. I don't think I did one at 100, because I felt like there wouldn't be enough people at that time. But I had done I had done a giveaway of a painting that I had done live on Facebook. That was a lot of fun. But I'm working on finding some prizes. And thank you so much, Nancy, for dropping the links. I appreciate that so much. We are raising money for St. Jude's, and after I get this cleared out here, it's a little hard to concentrate on my words while I'm doing the carving. It's really kind of interesting, the process that your brain goes through. This is one of those things. It's very, very much like doodling or pattern drawing, where you get into a flow, and words don't really work in that area of your brain. That right side of the brain is not the land of words. But this is that kind of art that really makes you feel good. You want to win the stamp that I'm carving right now. Ooh. Ooh. That's an interesting thought. I don't know how I would run that. At this point right now, I'm not set up to do to do something with, I would want it to be a random. And I don't have a way of capturing your names and email addresses at this moment. That's one of the things I'm working on for my giveaway. Oh, almost. Really close. And then we're going to do a quick little commercial chat about St. Jude's and all the wonderful things they're doing to end childhood cancer, to create situations for adults even to be cured of cancers, because treatments that are found for children are generally applicable to adults. But treatments that are found for adults are not always applicable to children. Let's see. I think I want to carve out in his toe area just a little bit. There, I like that. I think I want a few more little lines there. Maybe a couple little expressive lines up here. Missed the line under his left eye right here. Yes, I did, Catherine. Thank you very much. And that's there, that's there. Oh, he's looking really cute. I'm thinking I think I'm going to try and just stamp him up. I don't want to press the pad down in too far. I can see that I have a couple little spots to get cleaned up still, if I want to. I don't have to. Oh, and I haven't got it, lined up yet to do the, or haven't trimmed it yet to make it so that it fits right. So I don't know. We'll see. Yep, I was a little off. Not too bad, really. And I didn't press really hard this time because I didn't ink it up really super. But I did that so that I could go in and doodle inside of here. I could put words up here, or I could doodle more things. That is looking really cute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get these edges trimmed. What I'm going to do for that is lay my I have to find where I put my X-Acto knife now. Okay, things go disappearing. I'm probably looking right at it, but I'm not seeing it. So I kind of need to pick things up and move them so I can see what I've got and where it is. There it is. See? X-Acto knife. So what I'm going to do is lay this along my pen line that I had drawn at the very, 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 very beginning. And just use that straight edge. Stay focused, stay on target, and then just peel that part off. And the same here. And trim. Because what I'm trying to do is get this down to the ATC size to make it easy to to line up onto a card. And then this side, it's going to be a little tricky on that side, but we'll see. Just carving away. See, and we just peel it off. Well, so when you're down to the point where you have very thin strips that you're cutting off, sometimes you do end up having to cut all the way down or most of the way down to get a cleaner, to get that edge to tear off better. You have to trim down a little farther. And then I'm going to leave just a tiny little edge and trim off. Thank you. Yes. So if we look at our what we've raised, $626, we have gotten a platelet transfusion and a platelet count test and almost a full meal, a full day of meals for a family. All of that because of the generosity of my community. And I am so, ooh, I've got ink under my fingers. That's not very pleasant looking. Squirrel. Oh my goodness, that's pretty icky looking, but oh well. We're going to trim this. We're going to, well, how about this? I'm trying to think. If I do ooh, I know. Well, if anybody makes a donation and leaves a message, make a donation at the $10 level so that you can get a sticker. If you want to get a sticker, I will also include one of the little owls as a ATC card with the sticker. Oh, it's only ink, no blood. Oh, this is a piece of Coroplast plastic, corrugated plastic, so it actually would cut with the knife. I'm just not cutting all the way through the rubber. So I will make ATC cards and send it. So in the when you make your donation from the link, click on the $10 or the $20, and you leave me a comment that says ATC card, and I will include an ATC of the little owl, and we can treat it like it is like it's a collaboration where I am stamping it and sending you the ATC owl, and then if you choose to, you could choose to doodle and draw, or I will just make ATC cards. So let me know if you want to leave it, if you want me to leave it blank so that you can doodle it. Otherwise, I will doodle and fancy it up. But what I'm going to do here is grab one of my smooth cards, and we're going to test stamp it the right direction. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy coffee bean. Now these stamp pads are still juicy, still giving me ink, have never been re-inked, and these stamp pads are about the same age as my rubber stamping stuff. So 15 years. So now I'm just lining it up with the edge of the card and the edge of the... I'm upping the ante, you betcha! And now that counts, folks, for people after the live show. If you make a donation, you'll only know about this from being on this video. So if you make it this far into the video, look at that. I love him. Or her. So sweet. That really does. Oh my gosh, that does totally line up. Oh, that is so cute. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all being here. This has been an amazing evening. I thank you all for your donations. I hope that you are getting the chance to get out and do things that are creative and fun, and that you will come back and play with me another time on a future video. I will probably be doing at least 1 or 2 more live shows because I really want to get to that $1,000 level, to get that money for the kids, to be creative, to share, to help them get the things that they need to be healthy and to get out into the world again. Some of these kids, they end up in St. Jude's. They're getting cured, but they're there for years. It becomes home. And so doing things that create a home-like atmosphere, having arts and craft supplies, all those good things, that's what these donations are helping for also. So I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate the donations, and I appreciate you guys keeping me company as I'm playing. Thank you so much, and remember, go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of those around you. And yes, please, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video and share St. Jude's. And take care. And bye-bye. Oh boy, I'm trying to get all of my words in. Thank you guys.